video. I just want y'all to look at it. Shout out to the this young man named Kaden Pinky, KADENPODY. Make sure you tune into this video. Okay? I ain't gonna be here too long because I got things I gotta do. All right. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe to YouTube channel. All right. Check it out.
As we watch this video, pay close attention to the very front of the table. There's a little word right there, and I want you to notice it because it's going to tie into what I'm going to talk about. Remember, like I said, don't let anything slip over your head. This right here is in Egypt, and this just happened recently, and this is what was a historic moment. Things that our kids are going to be reading about in history books. And over 20 nations gathered in Egypt, Muslim and Western leaders together, to sign what is called a new peace deal. Listen to what Trump had to say, though.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
3,000 years to get to this point. And he says it's going to hold up. Now, why is this so significant? Because listen to me. What the Bible talks about in the book of Daniel is about how many nations get together. And I'm going to talk about that further in just a moment, more details, because I do not necessarily believe that this was what talks about in the book of Daniel, but I do know this. Even if it wasn't, it is lining things up so that we are getting closer. Closer. You can feel it. You can feel it in the spirit realm. Forrest Frank just wrote a song. He's a great Christian artist. I can feel it in my bones. Jesus is coming back. That's what he said in his song. I can feel it. I don't know about you. But what I want you to see here, I'm going to play this video in a second, and look at what is at the front of the table. Donald Trump stands at the center, watching over everything. Now, Israel and Hamas are the main two nations that this has to deal with. And I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But I want to play you this video and show you what happens next. They give it to the other world leader to sign. And then when they pan out, read the front. This is going to shock you, man. What does that say? Peace 2025. Peace 2025. Why is that so significant? Why is it so important? I'm going to show you why that is right now. Know why that's so important. We need to go to several places in the Bible, but first, Daniel 9:27. If you don't know what the book of Daniel is about, it's a prophetic book. Daniel was written thousands of years ago, but Daniel didn't just write things for his time. He was writing prophetically for the future, what we are living in right now in 2025. And this is what Daniel 9:27 says. It says, he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. Now, what is the many there? The many means nations. So this is prophecy of a leader confirming a covenant with many nations. Not just one nation, two nations, but what did I tell you? 20 world leaders or their representatives there. If that doesn't line up with what Daniel 9:27 says, I don't know what does. But what I want you to see here, I don't believe this is necessarily Daniel 9:27 because of one specific reason. Remember how I told you that Israel is at the center of Bible prophecy in the Bible? Well, Prime Minister Netanyahu, who's Israel's prime minister, was notably absent from this summit. As they were writing this peace deal, he was absent. Now, I don't know the exact reason why he may have been absent, but we know he was not there. Why is that such a significant prophetic detail? Because the book of Daniel talks about a global peace initiative in the Middle East. And we know that Israel is going to be a part of this peace deal. And we're going to get into more about the Antichrist in just a moment. But we know that Israel is going to be part of this. So the fact that Prime Minister Netanyahu was not there shows us something very significant. So we know that he was absent from this meeting. It's a symbolic moment showing that Israel's agreement to peace, but not fully included in the process. This deal may not be the covenant of Daniel 9:27 like we see, but it absolutely is a shadow and a setup of what is to come. What is to come soon. Now, before I get into this next point, I need you to hear what I'm saying, and I do not need you putting words in my mouth. I do not think Trump is the Antichrist. But what this is showing is the potential rising of the Antichrist and the Antichrist agreement that he is going to make. Like I said before, it's a 20-point peace plan that they all signed here, or that the world leaders signed, that the specific ones did. And what that includes is, listen to this, permanent ceasefire, hostage exchange between, this is Hamas and Israel, rebuilding of Gaza under international oversight, economic trade zones and deployment funded by Arab nations, and it's being celebrated as the new Middle East. But prophecy warns us of something. The Bible tells us that a man of peace will come, promising security, but then he will betray it. What I want you to see is that the Antichrist's rise does not begin with a war. You would think it does, but it doesn't. It begins with peace. Even see in 2 Thessalonians 2, 3, and 4, it says, that man of sin will be revealed. Talking about the Antichrist, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. What we see is that he rises peacefully, deceiving the world before turning against Israel halfway through that covenant. Even Revelation 6:2 says, I looked and behold a white horse. He had a bow and a crown was given him. And he went out conquering and to conquer. So what we see is a rider promising peace, but it's a false peace that leads to chaos. So every step toward a global peace framework, and world peace, brother, that's what we need, world peace. When we see world leaders getting together and doing that, it's great. We want world peace. That's what we long for, but it is moving closer to the world in a prophetic timeline, in the final prophetic timeline. Was this the peace deal that inevitably brings the Antichrist out? I don't believe it was, but watch me when I say this. I believe that it set the stage perfect where this Antichrist is now ready to blossom out. Get ready. The Antichrist is about to come out very, very soon. Because I'm telling you, very, very soon, Jesus is about to return. Now, last thing that I'll tell you, as you see up here, it says peace 2025, right? But when it says peace, you need to take special account for that. You want to know why? Because the Bible says, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them. When the world says, we did it, we achieved peace, that's when destruction follows. When do we know the true destruction is going to come? During the tribulation. All throughout the Bible, it warns of false peace before judgment. We see that in Noah's generation, Lot's generation, and then now the last generation, our generation. So what we're seeing right now is political peace, not spiritual reconciliation. You may see when you see all this is just politics. I don't see politics, I see prophecy. Listen to me, I don't see politics anymore, I see prophecy. Because we are too close to the end times for just little things to count as coincidence. What is happening in our world and our society today is leading to the last moment of time where Jesus returns. And the Bible says after that, destruction is going to be wild. You know what's interesting? Is the Bible talks about a war, and I know you've heard of this war, because why else would you click on this video if you didn't know somewhat about Bible prophecy? The war of Gog and Magog. This is a crazy war that's going to happen during the tribulation, where all these different nations in the Middle East are going to come against each other, and there's going to be allies and foes and enemies, and it's going to be wild, and I'm thankful to God we're not going to be here for that. Thankful to God. But the Bible says in Ezekiel 38 and 39 about this war, it says in verse 11 of 38, it says, I will go up against the land of unwalled villages, to those who dwell safely.
You see what I got to deal with? Every time I make the videos, you know, the commercials, the stuff pop up. Okay, guys, you know, my apology. You know, I ain't gonna keep you alone. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta go. I should have been done that.
Worry about theft of
You
your
know.
mail and packages?
So shout out to him, Katie. Go to his video. Make sure you click the like button. He says some powerful messages, okay? And it's not about fearmonger, okay? I'm not here to fearmonger y'all, okay? Because I'm not like New Breed, Global True, okay? Just go to his channel. I don't know, you can see well. Just go to his channel, okay? Some of y'all know who he is. He's speaking powerful messages. It was about to come. All right. It's your boy Jonah, TB for life. I'm out, y'all. Y'all be cool. And I might make it another video. If I don't make it a video today, I probably gonna do it tonight or tomorrow. All right. Peace and blessing. I'm out.